Hi, good people. This is Deborah. I hope your day is going well. I wanted to stop by for a second and give you another video. Um, I will mention some alleged happenings today, and yes, I will give you my opinion about some things. My thoughts matter, and so do yours. I will use words not intended to offend people, but to describe my point of view and how I see things. Take what resonate with you and what does not resonate with you, put it on the shelf or throw it away. Now, this particular video is about Genesis 126, Genesis 2:21, and Genesis 2:7. I'm going to read it. Genesis 1:26 says, "And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." Genesis 1:21. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created him man. Him, male and female, and created he them. Genesis 2:21 says, "And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead of thereof." Now, I'm going to give you what I've indicated here was their Bible concordance numbers, which they call themselves giving you the meaning of what that scripture is saying with those words. I've also listed that for you. I also listed the concordance number and the meaning. So I'm not going to read any of that. Uh, I'm going to bring it all together. You can go back and read it at your leisure time. I'm going to read my understanding of all that. Now, bringing it all together from my understanding. In summary, the Brotherhood sees Genesis 126, 27, 27, and 221 as allegory for misinformation. Everything written is not always the truth. Use your discernment when seeing, reading, interpreting anything with your single eye, not the eyes of delusion. I will give you my inner standing within myself. Anything with your single eye, not the eyes of delusion. Okay, I'm going to speak from the cosmic origin, the phenomenon energy. In the beginning, the cosmic represented the divine source of all creation, and within it existed phenomenon energy. Phenomenon energy is the primordial force directly connected to the spiritual realm, the Great Mother. She is unified whole force that permeates the cosmos. This energy is contained in the phenomenon principle, signifying the seed of life that can create, nurture, and sustain all that exists, representing not only balance, but also unification. It's often described as the void, the space where all exists before form, where energy exists in its purest spiritual essence. The feminine energy is connected to the soul because all souls are carried within women. Women already possess the full spectrum of creation within them. The soul of humility exists within the feminine. This is why women are said to be whole in comparison to men, who are seen as broken or incomplete, symbolized by the broken X. Okay? The soul is the spiritual essence that connects all living beings to the Great Mother. It is connected directly to the spiritual world. And within the soul lies the blueprint of creation, the ability to create life, nurture life, direct spiritual energy in the physical world. This is why women have the ability to bear life and carry the soul in its purified form. I'm going to talk about the pituitary gland, which they never, ever, hardly ever talk about. The pituitary gland is the chakra. It is the seat of the soul in the body, connected to the feminine, because it governs the spiritual and physiological harmony of the body. The pituitary is often described as the master gland in the body, overseeing the other glands, much like the feminine energy oversees all creation in her highest form. It is also seen as the gateway between the spiritual and the material world. The, the pituitary governs the body response to the spiritual energy, regulating growth, developing, and even the ability to channel higher awareness. It is intimately connected with the Kundilini energy, which lies at the base of the spine. When awakened, it rises through the chakra, activating higher spiritual awareness. The pituitary works with the pineal gland. The pineal gland associated with the masculine to bring balance, but the pituitary, uh, the feminine, first governs the highest spiritual connection, vital functions, including the release of hormones that influence growth, mental clarity, and spiritual awareness. Now, the Kundalini is a spiritual energy that lies dormant at the base of the spine, symbolized by a serpent or a snake, coiled three times. This energy is often referred to as the feminine because it is the life force that rises through the chakras from the base of the spine up to the crown of the head. It is often called the feminine power because it is a divine spark that awakens, spiritual awakeness, and bring about transformation. The Kundalini is the energy of creation. It moves upward through the chakra, guiding the person to spiritual enlightenment. As it rises, it connects individual to the higher self and the great mother, creating harmony between the physical and spiritual realm. The Kundalini awakening is said to occur when the feminine energy is awakened and begin its journey through the chakras, activating and balancing the masculine and feminine energy within the individual. Let me give you a few examples of Kundalini awakens. Kundalini awakens the body, the mind, and spirit are all affected. You may experience a wide range of physical, emotional, and spiritual changes, including energy movements, emotional purging, and heightening intuition, and the deep spiritual insight. Now, what you may experience is warmth or tingling in your body. It may feel like an internal burning or an intense heat, tingling and buzzing the hands, feet, and scalp, uncontrollable movements, spasms, or you get a lot of spasms. Feels like something is inside causing pain. Yeah, 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 yeah. Shaking, you get the shaking, the vibration, the swaying. Also, if you ever been near a generator, your body feels your body makes noise like a generator. It's like a generator is inside you, and it starts at the feet. You can literally hear it. Sensitivity to light, sound, and touch in common. Humming, you get the humming sound or the ringing sound in the ear. They told you loud about something else. The ringing sound in your ear you are awakening. That's what's going on with you. The awakening process can trigger deep emotional release. Old emotion traumas and represent memories may surface. What happens is with this piece right here, all that shit you have crushed or flushed or think you've gotten rid of, it's gonna come up to surface and it's gonna bite your ass because it's called unresolved issues that you need to resolve, and you're going to resolve them. Trust me, or else your ass ain't gonna sleep. You ain't gonna be comfortable in nothing. Okay. Been there, done all of that because it was some things I didn't want to let go because I felt certain people should have been apologizing to me for the wrong that they did to me, and I didn't want to let it go. But I had to, and it's all good today though. So, leading to intense feelings of sadness, grief, anger, and joy, intuition, psychic abilities, and spiritual insight. Oneness with the universe. Now that's important. When you start feeling oneness with the universe, you're in a good position. So you can still, because what's happening, you're being fine tuned. You know how when something is not working properly and it need to be tuned up, like you're going to the car dealership to get a tune up. The car get to acting all crazy and shit. And so once it get tuned up, then it's fine tuned. Well, it's the same way with you and your thoughts and your behavior and stuff. All that stuff has to be fine tuned. How do I know this? Because the Spirit is giving it to me and I trust what's inside of me. Okay? I trust because I'm becoming balanced between my shadow self and my higher self. Balance is necessary because the reason why it's necessary, instead of you using your shadow self all the time, once you become balanced or going toward balancing, you will use your shadow self when necessary. What's in the shadow self? A lot of things that people call negative. People call it demon. People call it devil. Some people call it Satan because it is. It's a part of that process because we come from that. Um, the more you fight yourself, the more uncomfortable you're going to become because the balancing is for the whole entire your behavior, your thoughts, your eating habits, your sexual appetite. It balances all that stuff. Ooh, you trust me, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this sexual thing. I got to get to that because people are lying out there about this tantra thing. Hold on for a second. Now, sometimes manifests as detoxification symptoms, such as feeling ill. Sometimes you may get ill, tired, or you get tired, you feel tired, experiencing headaches as the energy clears old patterns. It's a part of the process. Isolation. You may feel isolated or misunderstood every time you try to talk to somebody, explain to people about whatever. They're gonna misunderstand you. Why are they misunderstanding you? Because they still in lower form. For as long as they're in lower form, I don't care if it's your sister, your brother, your friend, your mama, your daddy. It doesn't matter. You need to pay attention to what's going on with you, because they can't tell you about you, but you within yourself can tell you about you. Now, the womb need to go here. The womb is a sacred space in which the feminine energy fulfills its role as the creator. The soul is not separated from the feminine, it is part of the divine nature. You need to understand this. Going around having sex with anybody and everybody, all you doing is contaminating your sacred space, your sacred womb. Your womb is sacred. They always talk about so above, so below. What's above is below. Your vagina is sacred, but you yourself cause it no longer to be sacred. So now you got John, you got Sue, you got Bertha, you got Samuel, you got everybody up in your womb because you've had sex with them. Now, what's so funny, there's some females out there going around telling people that they have to connect with their mate in Tantra. Your mate is your lower and higher self. That's the only mate you need to connect with, your lower and higher self. Okay? The feminine and masculine, which within yourself. You don't have to connect. If you are a female, you don't have to connect with another male to be whole. You already whole. Your wholeness is already inside you. Okay? Now, let's look at the male. Male, you have feminine and masculine in you too, but you are a broken why. Because you are broken why, you have to allow the feminine inside you to help you, to teach you, to show you the things that you need to know. Okay? Now, it ain't gonna hurt you to connect with a feminine uh, person that's in her higher self or operating close close to her higher self. Because when you and her have sex, that energy is going to flow back and forth because that's what happens. I know it. Okay, just want to let you know it. But let me just say this: you don't have to be with a mate, feminine, to be whole. You already whole. Outside of you does not make you whole. Inside of you is your wholeness. Um, the womb is a physical space and a sacred portal through which new life and souls enter into the world. Better believe that. The feminine energy is linked to the cosmos as the source of creation, the divine blueprint. All souls exist within the cosmos of feminine energy, a spiritual vessel connected humanity to the divine source of the Great Mother. The soul resides within feminine and is connected to the pituitary gland. They never talk about the pituitary gland being the master gland. It is not only is it the master gland, it is your crown chakra, the spiritual center in the body that governs and channels spiritual energies. The pituitary gland regulates the connection between the spiritual world and the material world, with feminine energy initiating the connection. The Kundalini and the rise to the spiritual awakening. The Kundalini energy, the spiritual force linked to the feminine, lies doormat at the base of the spine. When it awakens, it rises through the chakras, activating higher awareness and bringing individuals into spiritual alignment. This energy, now, why is bringing you into spiritual alignment? There's some shit you got to do. When it's taking you through the stuff that you have to go through, you're going to get some squeezing, some anger, some crying, some all that. Why? Because it's because the actual the ego does not want to let go. So you're going to go through something while the Kundalini is rising. Okay? You're going to go through some things because there's some things you got to give up. I used to smoke. I don't smoke no more. I used to drink. I don't drink no more. I used to have sex um, when I wanted to. I have not had sex over, it's been almost 12 years now. But here is what I want you to understand this right here. When you have sex with people, you take on their spirit and their energy. If their energy is low, it's going to affect you too. So when you the only way for you to be cleansed from that, there are spiritual baths that you have to take. There is spiritual behavior. You have to meditate, and there's spiritual behavior you have to go through. You can't just go and sit on an egg at some beauty supply place and think that you're healed. No, 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 no. This is having sex is a spiritual thing as well as it is physical. Just keep that in mind because this is a duality realm. And because it's a duality realm, your physical and spiritual is affected when you have sex. Okay? uh, do understand that. So here's the thing: if a man goes and have sex, he calls himself straight and goes and have sex with a guy that sucks his penis, or if he screws the guy from behind, they're connecting spirits. So what happens is he'll go back to his wife, and he's taking that spirit in, and it enters into his wife. And then she wakes up one day and she's interested in a female. So now they're having a threesome. Y'all need to understand how that spiritual stuff works. It's very real and it's very serious, and it hinders you in growing spiritually or going back to what you were. Now, I want you to also understand too, in the spirit world, there are low entities as well as high entities. So just because you're in the spirit realm and you're being called spiritual doesn't necessarily mean that you're high. You can be low as well because spirits, there are invisible spirits as well as visible spirit. I just want to let you know all this stuff. Now, some of this stuff I have experienced, and some of it has been told to me through my higher self, which is connected to the Great Mother. And I trust the both. Now, let's see where I was. You know, I have to have my little notes. Let me just read. Now, when it awakens, it rises through the chakra, activating the higher awareness and bringing the individual into spiritual alignment. That's only if you are yielding, you are humbling yourself, which is the ego. This energy is the feminine essence, awakening the individual's spiritual nature, creating a union of the material and spiritual world. That's your balance. You have to have that. You ever seen these people? Sometimes they get to talking about physical things and then they go into talking about spiritual things. That is the person that is operating in both worlds. When you go to sleep, your soul leaves your body anyway. And I've told you this in several videos. What happens is when the soul has not fully gotten back into the physical body, you'll get the trembling and shaking and shit because it's not completely back in the body. Uh, that's what happens. And you know, when you wake up in the morning or you wake up sometime and you're trying to wake up and it's hard for you to wake up, it's because the soul has not gotten completely back into your body. How do I know this? I know this because the Spirit has given it to me. That's how I know. Now, the womb, the birth of creation. Finally, the womb is the vessel that carries the soul into the material world. The feminine energy, which is both spiritual and physical source of creation, allows it to manifest in the physical realm. The feminine energy is the wholeness, the source, the creator, whereas the masculine energy symbolizes symbolized by the electrons. Electrons only exist in the earth. Electrons do not operate or exist in the spirit realm. Just wanted to let you know that. And then for those of you that's saying that you are going uh, to this dimension, that you're not going to no dimension but the fourth dimension. The third and fourth dimension are connected. Okay, the fourth dimension is up there by that damn moon, and past that moon or past that sun is a magnetic field, not not a uh, not other way around. It is called the magnetic field. Okay, which means you cannot go past that field. Nobody can. And the only one coming in and out of that field is the great mother. You better believe that, because you about to see her operation taking place in people. Uh, Let me just not go into that part of it because I want to keep it where I'm at. Therefore, the path of spiritual awakening begins with the feminine. As she carries the soul, awakens the Kundalini and nurtures life through the womb, connecting the individual to the great mother. Through the process, the individual become whole, bridging the cosmic and the earthly, the spiritual and the material, ultimately creating harmony between the feminine and masculine energies. So again, you being a male, you have to connect to your feminine. That's your spiritual. And if you don't know how to do it, go and talk to a woman who is striving to connect with her higher self, or one that's in her higher self, because she can give you the answers. Um, you don't have them in the feminine and the masculine. You know, these guys have reversed everything in the earth. You're not going to find this in no book, because the book writers are the Masons. They're the Masonic males that have been writing and misinformation everything for a number of years. And so, if you think that they are the pale ones that have done that, I assure you, you better go and research again, because it started out with the those that call themselves black. Okay, it started with them. All right, so what they've done is connected with the pales. So it's the blacks and the pales that have done this reversal of truth, which is it's not good for nobody. So the great mother is putting the truth out there, and you have to grasp it. If you in your lower self, you'll never get it. If you're seeking to become higher within yourself, you'll get bits and pieces of it. See, I when I had nobody to help me, uh, for some reason the great mother has had me to be alone. And the funniest thing, the first Freemason that I saw was he was a pale guy, and I don't know if he's still living or not, but he was a pale guy, and in that. Um, she led me to stuff that he was doing before I even came on YouTube. And it was interesting. And then after a while, she allowed me to start putting the pieces together, and it made sense. Once you start putting the pieces together, because you get a piece over here, a piece over there, a piece over, because you got pieces of knowledge all in different cultures. That's why you may see that the those that call themselves Indian, the Kundalini, the chai information was given to them, but the ones that was before them, they were brown skinned people. They had that information, and they passed it on to those which you see over in India today. But my point is, and then you had the Chinese. You had those that are brown skinned in the Chinese world as well, and they had their pieces. And so these brotherhoods uh, was given that information, and then they took and they became gatekeepers, blocking people out that wasn't a part of their organization, and then they would teach you the outer court of things. Outer court means outside information rather than the inside information. But today they can't stop it. It doesn't matter what they say at this point, because there are a lot of females that follow these corrupt males, and they don't go and go within themselves. They listen to what these corrupt males are saying, and they take on that, and then they go and broadcast that lie too. You see, and you're going to be responsible for every lie you tell. You're going to be responsible for it, female. Every lie you tell, because you allow the males, which are not our teachers, they're not our teachers. They are the broken why. So they cannot teach the female or the woman anything unless they have connected with the great mother, unless they have connected with the feminine energy that's in her higher self. They cannot. And is this a put down? No, it's not. See, you put yourself down because you allow yourself to listen to those lies. And it's simple to I had to do it. I was believing in saviors, male saviors as well. And trust me, it ripped me apart too. Why did it rip me apart? Because I was walking in my ego. That's why it ripped me apart. And once I started realizing that I had an ego, it wasn't important to me no more. I began to become humble, because the only way you're gonna get it is that you have to be humble. Stop believing in everything you read is the truth. Come out that energy, because everything that they put out there in books was a bunch of lies, and then they begin to start mixing lies with you. Have you ever wondered with the Bible? Let's just say with the Bible, then it says you will find. I think it says, I'm paraphrasing it, and you will find this in the book of Enoch. That gave them an opportunity to create more lies in the book of Enoch. Okay, stop. They created the alien lie. They created they just they created those lies because they don't want people to know that the male is a degenerate female. That's all it is. Something took place when the females was created as stars, stars, and then they became humans. The generation process began where the females began to lose their X and become a Y. Okay? Stop playing. Now, the atom, this lie about Eve, about the in the Garden of Eden, that they were Eve bit an apple and she gave it to Atom. Atom is Atom. No man was named no Adam. It was Atom. The Eve in the book represents the feminine principle. She's the feminine. That's who Eve is. Now, the atom The apple, the atom apple, the apple itself is the atom apple. If you notice, you look at the male's neck, it pokes out more than we have them too. Everything that male has, the male got it from us, the cinnamon. Everything. You don't need me to start naming them again because I did it in a video in previous videos. I'm not gonna name, but you would never see uh, something has always started at the root. The clitoris is the root. The extension is not the root, okay, of the penis. The penis is an extension of the clitoris. Now, I gave you the physical form of it. But the male has everything just about that the female has is just calcified. Look at him. Make him take his clothes off and look at him real good. You'll see it. That's just the physical part. Now, when you get into the spiritual aspects of it, how many men are in churches today? Very few, because they consider themselves to be gods. How how many females are in churches today? Many, because they're trying to find something on the outside that's in the inside. Males could never give you the truth because they don't know it. It has to come from within. The phenomenon. She's the first, and she gonna always be the first. Now, does that mean that you females need to go out there and disrespect the males? No, that's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm trying to tell you to do. I'm trying to tell you to go inside yourself, know yourself, because once you go inside yourself and know yourself, you will be put in your proper place. And when you're put in your proper place, you would know how to deal with that male. But anyway, I just, you know how I do. I'll be going on and on and on. So until the next time, good people, stop fighting. Learn to be taught. Learn to sit down and be taught by your inside. Have a good one.